As to Josephine, we have very little without, with her reluctance to file a police report.
Now, she had filed a police report when it originally occurred.
Did she?
Yes, there was actually a police officer that talked to some of the employees involved.
Okay.
Apparently a taller female police officer who had been fairly soon after it occurred. Yet what Josephina was saying is that she felt that she couldn't proceed because the detectives were saying, well, what do you want us to do? And she felt like she couldn't start anything with them until after the city finished. So, but you recall that time in October or November when you talked to her, you said you should consider a police report? Or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about that. Okay. And again, she said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring my child into that. I want to kind of get past this a bit.
Do you have any idea of what she's talking about involving her child?
No, I really don't. I don't want to bring my family into it, I think is what she said.
Did Josephina say anything to the effect of that she had talked to Amy about this, about whether or not she should pursue talking to the police?
I don't recall that. It's very likely she did. Amy's on site and may have had those conversations.
Josephina's claiming that when she talked to Amy, and I'm sharing this with you because you're upper executive level. She claims Amy told her, well, if you go to the police, you're going to have to get an attorney, and it's going to cost some money, and it's going to involve your family, and do you really want to do that to your family and your son?
That the first time I've heard that.
Have you ever heard that she claimed that, or that?
She never told me that. I was not aware until you just told me about the fee and bringing the family. And Josephine's words, I don't want to bring my fee. Well, you just said it was going to be an attorney's fee, and there'll be that. No, I basically, to paraphrase, she said, I don't want to bring my family into it. Is how she explained it to me. And
we don't know what she meant by that.
No, I don't. And
did she talk to say that she talked? What prompted your discussion with her?
More than likely is, my ongoing discussion with Amy. I meet with her every other week one-on-one. I meet as a group with her every week.
Right.
So and I probably talk to her every single day by phone.
Okay.
For one thing or another. So I'm sure we've mentioned and talked about Josephine, about the situation. I know Christina here was very involved. Karen Ginsberg, our director, had been, peripherally involved. That we had this situation. This is, kind of what happened. There's some back and forth between Christina and Amy that Amy didn't do enough.
In regard to what?
I think Christina's take was we should have been more proactive, maybe. And again, that's generalized, and it's just a general statement.
Proactive about
about dealing with patrons at the swim center.
Did Christina think that Amy should have talked to Dr. Field?
Yeah, I think that's what she was inferring.
It sounds like, based on the other people that I've talked to, that it got to a point where Josephine said she sat down with Amy after checking with her, and she finally sat down and had what sounds like more of a heart-to-heart talk about, hey, I really need to find out, I need to have something going on, and she was talking about going to the police. She claimed that Amy dissuaded her.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she said right after this is when you had your talk with her. So I'm wondering, was there information from the city attorney's office, other information, or what triggered you to finally talk to her and say there's nothing?
Yeah, there was nothing that I recall from the city attorney's office to me at all.
Okay.
I think it was more from Amy saying, hey, I've talked to Josephine. She's not satisfied. Can you come in and meet with her?
But had you been knowing for a while that the city said there's nothing they can do?
Yes.
What took up until that point where you had the talk with her? Did you
Probably
know that you had to talk to her eventually?
I was asked by Amy to come in and talk with her.
But
I mean, no one instructed me from HR, said you've got to talk to Josephine, and it was, hey, I've met with Josephine, and she doesn't seem happy with the results.
But
can you meet with her?
But it's my understanding that she didn't know any results until you talked to her.
Well, I think I repeated what Amy said is the city cannot ban Dr. Fields.
Okay.
I mean, we were kind of at a bit of a stalemate
Right.
there.
I'm trying to figure out the chicken and the egg thing.
Yeah. And I think this is following that heart-to-heart with Amy. I mean, so to me, in my mind, it's a bit logical is that Amy has this talk with Josephine. Josephine's still not feeling too good about the whole thing.
Right.
Hey, Brad, can you meet with Josephine? Maybe you can come, a different voice as Amy's supervisor. I'm taking a majority of what I talked to Josephine from information from Amy. Quite honestly, she's the one with the intimate details. I'm kind of coming in from the outside a bit, knowledgeable, but still just trying to put things together and trying to be a good listener.
Back when this occurred, Amy had talked to Dr. Fields that day, just before he left, after he came out of the shower. Did you ever talk to her about what she said to him?
No.
So it sounds like, based on what you're saying, is Amy had been telling Josephine that there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I think she was working with HR, with the city attorneys. It probably took a while.
Okay, Amy, what she told me is that she was not in contact with HR at all. She was in contact with her supervisor.
Which is me.
Which is you.
Okay.
And that she wasn't getting any response about what was going on with Amy's case.
With Josephine's case.
I'm sorry, yeah, Josephine's case. And then...
Right. All of a sudden.
And then you had your talk with her to let her know, hey, there's nothing the city can do. So I'm just curious as to how long did Amy tell you that she'd been telling Josephine all this time that there's nothing the city can do? Or...
Yeah, I think I felt that Amy felt, okay, our hands are tied a bit, and that HR and the CAO were looking into it or investigating. I don't know what word that she used with it, and basically it was, we're not going to ban Dr. Fields.
Was there a decision to send him a letter?
I don't know.
Were you ever asked to send him a letter?
No.
Who do you report to?
Karen Ginsburg.
Okay.
Yeah, she's our director.
Did she ever discuss that with you? Oh, some letter of admonishment to this guy?
I don't think so. Yeah, we've since gotten clarification from our city attorneys of what we can do when folks break pool rules. And it was always kind of a touchy thing, and many of the swim center staff felt like we need a mechanism to be able to, formally notice